and welcome to Crypto 101. This is Aditya, and today we're going to talk about cryptocurrency in general because it is kind of new and a lot of people are interested in it. So, let's start with the word cryptocurrency. What is cryptocurrency? To understand what is cryptocurrency, we need to first understand the words crypto and currency. So, what is crypto? Crypto is from the word cryptography, and it basically means to encode or encrypt a certain amount of data and send it to someone else, so that the person who's sending it and the person who's receiving it are the only people who understand what is exactly in that data. So anybody else who looks at it sees a jumble of words and numbers, but the person who is actually sending it and the person who's receiving it understands the data and can interpret it for their own use. That's cryptography. Now, what is currency? Currency has been around for a long time. We all use currency to get commodities and to get everything that we need from our surroundings and from our economy. Currency has actually evolved multiple times in its lifetime. There has been commodity currency, there has been fiat currency, and now there is cryptocurrency. So let's start with commodity currency. What is commodity currency? Commodity currency used to be a currency that was backed by a certain commodity, most commonly gold and silver. And what used to happen was the banks or the government used to have a certain amount of gold or silver in their reserve. And against the amount of gold and silver, the value of that gold and silver, a certain amount of notes used to be generated to be distributed among the public. These notes, these paper notes, used to be called receipts, not currency or money. These receipts were viable for the amount of gold or silver. So, for example, if you had a dollar, that dollar was worth a certain amount of silver, and that dollar could be taken to a bank, given to the bank, and the bank would give you a certain amount of silver against it. That used to be the case. But around 1991, all currency became fiat currency because people started believing and trusting these receipts so much that there didn't need to be a commodity to back it. People just believed and trusted in the currency and in the notes, and the government removed the commodity base or the commodity background of it and started distributing currency just based on its value. It became a legal tender because it was backed by a government or an institution. That was fiat currency. Then came cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is a digital currency. You cannot hold it in your hand. It is not paper or metal. It is held in a wallet, a digital wallet that is in your phone, your desktop, and this wallet will hold a certain amount, a number of coins that has been minted by a certain cryptocurrency, and you can use it to buy something or buy another cryptocurrency. The advantage of cryptocurrency is, for that, we need to understand the difference between centralized and decentralized banking. So, what is centralized and decentralized banking? Centralized banking is where there is a certain institution or a government who holds the power, a single entity who holds the power to mint and transact in that currency. So there is a government or a bank which allows you to make transactions in that currency and which also keeps the stability of that currency. So if there was a need for more currency in the environment, in the country, then that government or that bank could mint more currency and distribute it among the citizens. The disadvantage of central banking is there could be inflation because there is no commodity that is asserting the value of that currency. It is possible that a lot of notes could be generated, so much so that the value of that currency reduces and the value of commodities increase, causing inflation. That is the disadvantage of central banking. Decentralized banking is where there is no middleman. There is no single entity controlling the currency. Instead, it is peer to peer. It is from person to person. So in centralized currency, for example, if you wanted to send a certain amount of money to a person for example, you are a person in India and there is a person in the US, and you want to send a certain amount of currency from India to the US. What you need to do is you need to go to a bank or a central institution who holds your INR, Indian rupee, and tell them that you want to transact with somebody in the US. This central entity will turn your Indian rupee into dollars, take a certain amount as fee for doing so, and then send the money to the person in the US, for which also there is a transaction fee. Okay, now let's say you want to send cryptocurrency from India to the US. You are a person who wants to transact to the person in the US. So what you do is you access your crypto wallet and you authorize a transaction from you to a person in the US. This authorization is sent to a miner, a person who is a volunteer. Multiple volunteers around the world get this transaction, get this authorization, and they compete to verify this transaction and add it to the blockchain. The blockchain is a public ledger of all the transactions that have happened in this cryptocurrency. So whoever finishes first in verifying this transaction gets a certain amount as transaction fee from you for sending the money, and also gets a certain amount of newly minted cryptocurrency, the same cryptocurrency, into their account, and they can now spend that money to make more transactions and keep increasing the blockchain. The more the length of the blockchain, the better the value of that cryptocurrency. That's the difference between centralized and decentralized banking. So cryptocurrency is based on a technology called blockchain. Blockchain is a new technology where blocks are created of data. Each block contains a certain amount of data and a link to the next block. These links to the next blocks create a chain of blocks, and that chain is called a blockchain. Now, what is the data inside a blockchain? Most commonly, they are the transactions that happen for that cryptocurrency. So let's get into how many cryptocurrencies are there in the world. According to CoinMarketCap, which is a market research tool for cryptocurrency, there is currently 8,795 different cryptocurrencies in the world. These cryptocurrencies are all independently tackling a certain real world problem and making sure that they digitalize it and make it more efficient. And the more they progress in their work, the more the currency's value increases. Now let's get into the disadvantages of cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency in itself is volatile. From the start of cryptocurrency, that was the first one called Bitcoin, there have been a lot of fluctuation in the actual value of Bitcoin. It kept fluctuating a lot and it hasn't really stabilized yet. That is one of the disadvantages of cryptocurrency. The second disadvantage of cryptocurrency is that it is untraceable. So when you make a transaction using cryptocurrency, you are not identified by your name or your email ID or any other personal information. You are only identified by a public key, that is the key to your crypto wallet. And the person who gets the money is also only identified by the public key. So for example, if you by mistake did not put the correct key into the transaction while you're making the transaction, that money goes to someone else, not to the person you intended. And there is no central authority, there is no single entity that you can approach to track down this transaction that you made and get the money back. The advantages of cryptocurrency is that, again, it is anonymous. So your transactions, even though on a public ledger, even though everybody can see the transactions that have happened around the world in that cryptocurrency, will not reveal your name, your identity, your personal information, or any other information that can put you in harm's way. The other advantage of cryptocurrency is the decentralization of cryptocurrency, which mainly means that after the invention and after the creation of the coin, there is not much control from the people who invented the coin in the distribution of it. It is already coded into the blockchain of the coin the way it should be distributed. So it has a particular pattern that it will follow, and it will make sure that the pattern is followed because it is done by an algorithm, not by people. So for example, in a decentralized blockchain, there are multiple transactions happening around the world all the time, and there are multiple volunteers around the world who are taking care of these transactions, who are verifying these transactions and putting it onto the public ledger, who are putting it onto the blockchain and increasing the size of the blockchain. So these volunteers, these miners who get rewarded for this work, get a certain amount of Bitcoin, and this is decided by an algorithm, not by a person, not by a company institution, but by an algorithm. The amount they get as a reward for mining. Because of the automation of currency, there is no middleman who you need to pay. There is automatically trust between the people who are transacting, because a lot of people around the world who have the information that is on the blockchain continuously verify the transactions and make sure that the other people who are verifying the transactions have not tampered with it by checking against each other the information that they have. And that consensus that happens between all the volunteers keeps the blockchain going, keeps it going forward, and making sure that there is no tampering in the blockchain. Now, when it comes to investing in cryptocurrency, I, as a person, am not a financial advisor. I do not have an advisory. I'm not giving you any kind of advice on whether you want to invest in cryptocurrency or not. But looking at the way cryptocurrency has grown, it has grown from $1 value from a 30-cent value, Bitcoin, for example, from a 30-cent value to $40,000 today. $60,000 now. Sorry, not updated. $60,000 today. So there is a chance that it is the future of our economy. A lot of already established institutions are now evolving to add blockchain into their way of working, into their ecosystem. For example, New Zealand is now releasing an cryptocurrency which will have the same value as a New Zealand dollar, but it'll have it'll work in a different way. It won't be minted by the New Zealand government. It'll work according to the algorithm that is being developed for that currency. In the same way, the US has a cryptocurrency called Tether. Tether will always be the same value as $1. So there is an alternative currency to the paper currency that we have in the US. But it is a digital currency, it is a cryptocurrency, and it holds the same value as the dollar. So there again, Cardano, that is a cryptocurrency, there is talks that Cardano will be adopted by Africa to install cryptocurrency into its economy, into its institution. There is no future update on when it will happen, but it is supposed to be a big deal that Africa is adopting Cardano as a cryptocurrency into their economy. So a lot of progress is happening in the cryptocurrency world. That's basically it. That is the basics of cryptocurrency. That's all from me today. That I hope you understand a little about cryptocurrency from this conversation. And if you like it, then my plan for this channel is to explain each cryptocurrency, is to explain each altcoin one by one, and make sure that there is some understanding of that altcoin before you decide to invest in it or not. So hold on for future videos where I will go through with Bitcoin, with Ethereum, with Uniswap, with Binance Coin, and explain the history, the market role right now of that currency, and where it might go in the future. It'll be a fun journey, and we can all learn together about cryptocurrency. Make sure you subscribe, like, and support me for future videos. Thank you. Have a nice day.